you and run you over, Chen gives them that extra push as well to just close out the game.
Yeah, I think Chen is pretty good when the enemy team doesn't have a lot of damage.
Mars does feel like one of those heroes that can still have pretty big impact in the game without having a ton of farm.
Yep.
As first blood, okay, X-Nova takes a tumble. Mira getting chased as Ame going to the wrong side of the trees. Now has to try to get to the other side, goes to the north instead. 3 members of Aurora beating upon him. Hammer on top. Ame still trying to get around the tree line. Starbreaker completely misses as Nightfall with the casual TP. Ame might actually live through this. TP support's coming in. And Toronto Tokyo, I mean, he's not getting any CS, Ame, under this tower. As a glimpse, not going to do too much, but Ame...
One more hit would do it. Good
hex.
hex.
Quite a bit of trouble, but Toronto Tokyo able to turn the tide a bit. Glimpse, though, onto Mira. Last right click from Ame is enough, so finally getting some retribution in this lane for the Xtreme side.
Prophet has great stat gains and is usually just going to stand and deliver. Ursa wins that fight 10 out of 10 times. So, yeah, Xtreme, if they can keep it in this range.
Denied haste rune.
Gonna cost them.
X-Nova actually gets to the high ground. He's going to be okay, it seems. Although Kiyotaka, one more slide, does finish the jobs. Solar Guardian coming in. Mira getting some health back, but will be the death of Aurora. So 1 for 1. But XM trying to get outside this arena. A lot of damage with the Diabolic Edict. Toronto Tokyo to the high ground. Looks like he will survive. Unfortunately for Xtreme, they do lose the Lesh. And now Jin Q eats his way out of the Sprout. Now, far enough away that should be okay. Another Searing Chains, though, disruption. Help keep him alive a little bit longer as the Shadow Poison started to stack up a bit.
I think there's some other interesting possibilities with something like, if you wanted to get creative, like Octarine Core, or you could just buy another Aura Hex. Let's see. BKB.
Smoke from Aurora.
Queuing up the BKB for now. Just one step.
Well, they spot XXS. I don't know if that is the easiest target to go for, though, with that pipe and Yules at the ready.
They have to hex him if they want to burst him. He has Yules, and yeah.
They do show that they're there. Mira, in the meantime, finding a support on the other side. Gets the finger, and that is the death of X-Nova.
Okay, can they convert this to anything? Roshan is currently bottom. Looks to be what they're potentially planning here. And well,
this would be pretty big if they can get away with this, but I do feel like Xtreme could try to contest.
I mean, this is extremely telegraphed. They have to know this. Like there's no way. Yeah, you can see XXS already.
Yeah, I'm trying to delay.
Moving in.
I don't know if they can stay in the pit.
They can.
XXS has the arena. Gonna get sprouted to start things out. Very tanky boys. Nightfall trying to get through it. Gets the Mars arena off onto 2 with a Rebuke to follow. Demonic conversion as Nightfall pops the BKB. Trying to right-click everybody is XM, also popping his BKB. He's going to be fine. Solar Guardian not going to hit anybody. It's Toronto Tokyo now. Yules speared into the cliff with the split earth to follow. Kiyotaka with a nice Searing Chains onto several heroes. And after all of this, they do get the glimpse, but that's the BKB now from Toronto Tokyo. Ame in a little bit too deep. Pops the Enrage. Can mitigate a lot of that damage as a result. There's the Static Storm just on the outskirts. The Ember in a lot of trouble. Will be able to get dropped as XM pops the Essence Ring to stay alive. Meantime, disruption to save the time being is Ame focusing everything onto Nightfall. The spear onto the low ground. Nightfall might be able to get out now. Gets glimpsed though into the split earth. Down goes another member of Aurora. Toronto Tokyo trying to get something out of this fight. But he's just likely going to get glimpsed back. Oh, that's down for 6 seconds. So might be fine, in fact, with the cover of creeps on the high ground. But
say that Kiyotaka might try to be cute here.
Okay, we've seen a steal or two from an Ember. Remnant in, and Ame is able to get it. They can take the Yules now. Onto Kiyotaka's going to pop the BKB. He's going to take the brunt of damage from Ame, trying to get through him, but there's a Solar Guardian. He's actually stuck inside the pit. They may be able to get the burn through this Aegis to start things out, but Ame able to get to the other side of the pit in time. Mars Arena onto 2. Meanwhile, XM, he was taking the brunt of damage for the time being, but Toronto Tokyo pops the BKB, trying to pursue XXS, but another beautiful disruption from Jin Q. Ame in really deep. That is life number 1 for him. They take out the Ember. As XM with the BKB, he's just going to run away, and Ame looks like they want to fall back. I say that, but their spear onto the low ground. Mira in a lot of trouble, gets the Finger of Death, but dies shortly after. The right clicks are enough from Nightfall to delete XM from the map. Ame now focusing onto Nightfall, cannot get the bash, but the glimpse back, and another right click will do it. Meanwhile, the bash is reserved for Toronto Tokyo instead. Down he goes. 4 dead for Aurora. It's too one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Because you can always change it. Like
well,
the decision,
45 minutes is quite long.
the decision should be at the beginning of the game,
Yeah,
I think.
for sure. I don't know. It's just I've never really thought about the possibility.
In other
of what
words,
if you could,
really stupid idea.
I didn't say it was a good idea. It just had me thinking.
That's true. Don't do that again.
Yeah.
Oh, Nightfall. Might be spotted. Ame. Oh, gets the Abyssal Blade onto Ember. Kiyotaka in a lot of trouble. Tries to Remnant away, but Remnant's on himself and dies to the bear. Ame trying to turn his sights onto Nightfall instead. They do take the support out. So 1-for-1, but definitely in favor of Xtreme again.
Yeah.
And XM going to the higher ground. He's going to get hexed, but XXS is there. BKB popped from Nightfall. Solar Guardian to follow as well. Starbreaker on top of XM taking a ton of damage, but the Mars Arena doing quite a bit. Pronto Toki's getting melted along with Nightfall. So just like that, 3 cores dead for Aurora. It feels like their supports are living longer consistently over their cores, but it's 4.
Ewell's was really clever, in my opinion.
Especially the phase boots, that was also quite clever.
Yep, love that.
Like all 6 items just work so well together. Incredible.
Ame, unfortunately.
Kiyotaka
Oh,
gets
no.
split earth, and another kill for Ame.
Yep. Will they find a glimpse too? No.
So buyback is available for Kiyotaka. Otherwise, has to wait 80 seconds. Glimpse. They're going to be able to dodge that. Knife on that with the BKB. XXS gets the Mars Arena onto 2 heroes. The rest of his team going to try to focus on the melee barracks. Only 30 seconds on the Aegis.
They forced Nightfall's BKB with that arena. I think that's a worthwhile trade, honestly.
Yeah, this will be 1 lane at the very least, and they will likely go mid to try to capitalize on this. What can Aurora do here? Another fortification. That's going to be potentially the last of the game.
Aurora can thank the format that this is not a BO1, so they get a chance to return fire in the upcoming games, unless they find some heroic play here. Okay, good
Abyssal
Ghost
Blade,
Scepter.
but yes, they still have the spear
That is
connection, and that is going to be a dead lion. 50 seconds of no Mira, no buyback to come either. And more buildings will melt, so they're waiting for this death timer of Kiyotaka, despite having the buyback, just for one last hurrah, but they're going to lose most of their buildings in the meantime. Actually, the jump onto Nightfall, already at half HP. The Solar Guardian doing very little. That is the death of Nightfall, and they did not buy back on Kiyotaka at all. In fact, they're just going to call it GG. So game 1 going to Xtreme. Pretty entertaining game, though.
Yeah.
I mean, Aurora off to a good start, as we talked about. They needed to get off to, but in the mid game, just
Killing the Tombstone, also a reason, so I would say Chicken Fingers. Ooh, there it is. Dominator hero coming out. Exciting.
I can really hear it in your voice. It was just so enthralled. But yeah, Faceless Void, right? People hit and miss.
talk to me about the Pugna.
Yeah, there's a lot of value to Netherward here against Puck and the Lion, and it's also a bad lane matchup for. Oh, hang
That's
on.
first blood. So Mira
from Mira.
did eventually go down.
Okay, and so did Panto. Talk to
Okay.
me about Pugna. Well, he's dead.
Yeah, that's not a good way to look at it. Is Nightfall trying to take out the
One
Tombs?
run Lion as a battery for Storm.
I have,
You have?
but it's a very poor man's version of the Pugna.
It's still level 4 mana drain is still
okay,
600 mana in 5 seconds. It's not
The Remnant
bad.
does connect. XM has the orb to try to get away. Actually gets a little fancy with it and dies as a result.
Oops. A worthwhile trade, if you could even say those 2 plays are connected. Might just have been a mess up on Nightfall's side.
Kiyotaka with the first power rune of the game, which is the Arcane. He's going to find a little Jin Q action. Panto there. Get another Astral Step with some good body blocks as well. XXS actually places down his Tombstone to try to contest this, and Jin Q, is he actually going to live through this? Looks like that might be the case as Kiyotaka has to try to run away. Trying to go for the Tombstone, gets impaled in the meantime though. Does take out the Tombstone, getting some extra gold. As XXS now with a double decay, and it's going to force Kiyotaka out with not too much to show for it. In fact, it's going to be the death of the support instead for Panto as XM finally makes his way over. That's right. Is this just a casual earn?
I mean, he must be upgrading it, otherwise you wouldn't buy it, right?
Oh, okay.
I think.
That is a little weird.
Let's see.
And the helm being used now for Nightfall. Gets the Centaur creep. And going to make their way over to the lane where XXS is playing very confidently in tower range right now.
He has
The ward
ults.
is placed. He's already at half HP though. Aether Remnant pop. There's the Centaur stomp. If he gets his ult off here, which he will. Solar Guardian to follow, but he's dead already. Solar Guardian from Toronto Tokyo to try to help out. They will be able to get Jin Q on top of this, so double kill for Kiyotaka.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, that's a nice little find there as Tombstone not available. Undying coming right back to life, TPing in and dying instantly. So using that innate to feed relentlessly, it seems. That they cycled out.
Exactly. That was the other one, right? The Gossamer Cave.
Yeah, Gossamer.
Yeah,
but that was a cooldown based.
Yeah. So
As, Toronto Tokyo going to get surrounded. Flesh Golem activated from XXS.
that
and the
is-
TP instantly canceled because Jin Q is there with his million disables and a finger to delete Toronto Tokyo.
didn't get it off. His animation was stopped because the Decay took the kill. Jinkyu didn't look too phased by it. Not to be mistaken for faced by it. Of course, face wash, important to him. But now that Finger was unused, which I think is a good thing, you don't have to use Finger for guaranteed kills just to get stacks. I think, personally, that's pretty overrated. I think having the cooldown is much
Aether
better.
Remnant misses again. X-Nova, though, getting blocked by Kiyotaka. The Simile is there, but the Chronosphere is being used to just kill the one, but on top of the Undying now, XXS is going to be fine. Spirit Vessel applied to him. Ame gets the Stormhammer onto two heroes, trying to go for the Rasta, but of course the foul play comes into play, no pun intended, does kill him off in the end. Toronto Tokyo looks to be next for Ame in the midst of this Wisdom Shrine. It matters not, that's two dead, and now the coil snapping. Kiyotaka with another Dissimilate onto low ground with the Astral Step is going to be fine, although XM uses the Illusory Orb, but no more catch to follow up with.
Dawnbreaker with stuns, you want to use that ability offensively, and they tried there onto Undying, didn't really get the kill though, in the Chrono. Just ran away. Aether Remnant accuracy now down to 15% here. I'm just pulling that number out.
But a follow-up Hex from Mira. Get the Life Drain on top of him. X-Nova is going to try to channel. Does get off the Echo Stomp. The Earth Splitter to follow. Is going to hit one. That's going to be the deletion of Panto and another support to follow suit. So in the end, a 1 for 2 in favor of Xtreme again.
Yeah, I don't necessarily mind it. A little bit on the side of, do we have damage concerns again, like we did for Aurora Game 1? Like, does Void Spirit... Dawn this time, obviously, AC immediately after Ags, so definitely gonna hit.
Oh, we got the Hex. Open up with the Shackle to follow. Jin Q, though, Impale, gonna buy a little bit of time. Toronto Tokyo gets the Solar Guardian out, but again, Ame coming in from the north, deletes two supports, and Nightfall has to chrono and run away. Toronto Tokyo fingered to death. Didn't mean it that way, of course, syndereN. Aurora, 3 dead. And Tormentor number 2. This time Ame getting the shard. So the Warcry getting just a little bit better for his team. Undispellable.
Passive 6 armor is great.
Yeah, absolutely.
This takes me back to Kataomi playing support Sven for Entity. They had their Sven Pudge strat with Pure, and then Kataomi would play the 4 Sven, rush Shard, and just always Warcry his Pudge, and you would have insane EHP. All right.
Nightfall, Chronosphere. Nova goes out with the...
the Tombstone save.
Grab allied. Oh my goodness. As the Nightfall maneuver was successful this time, but it's going to be at the cost of a support as Ame and company just running through Aurora. The grab ally out of nowhere. I don't think he got that from any of the Tormentors, so he purchased that for exactly that purpose.
I think the play call there from Nightfall was, I'm going to ult, and seemingly so far based on today, this separated in terms of just their prowess that they've shown.
Yep, as the Roshan will be attempted from Xtreme, and you can tell by the top of your screen, the smoke comes out from Aurora. It means they want to contest. Roche is already at half HP, though. XXS in that Flesh Golem form as well, and the Tombstone is placed in the pit. There's the Hex to start things out. XM getting the brunt of the damage onto the Rasta. The coil comes out as well as Ame just cleans up Roche himself. 2 shots, Nightfall, goodbye. As Kiyotaka's BKB finally comes back online, he gets a support for his troubles. As you can see, the Dawnbreaker able to BKB out, and now the pursuit of the supports and Kiyotaka. Stormhammer connects, and that's a Thule that gets ethereal there from a moment from Panto, but in the end, the Crepify can only do so much. So a 2 for 1, and likely to be a 3rd. So Xtreme get basically everything that they want. They get Roche all the goodies. They delete the Faceless Void in 2 hits.
fully. It has to find Lion, ET. If you can somehow pick them off first, maybe you can build a fight around that. But again, this just leads to yet another team fight with unexpended ults. We never got a Chrono, we never got a Solar Guardian. They just couldn't find an entry.
And Nightfall ready to go now, potentially.
All right,
Doesn't use the Chrono. Ame literally just standing still, hitting buildings, will get the second lane. And the Hex from Mira.
Okay.
Kiyotaka on the sidelines as XM coming in with the coil onto 2. Nice heals from Panto. But the Stormhammer coming in. Ame wants to get in deep. He gets the 1 kill. And it back and forth from Nightfall. As you can see, the reset was there, but Ame now with that God Strength available. Earthsplitter does a decent amount, but Nightfall able to time walk most of it away. Toronto Tokyo getting on top of the Sven. Remember, this is still an Aegis Sven who just brushes off the damage with that Satanic. Gets back to full HP, brings him back with the Harpoon, but the Chronosphere is there with the life break on top of him. This could be enough to take out life number 1 of Ame. Can you do it again, though, is the question. Ame pops the Warcry. Basically invincible now as a result. Finger of Death deletes Toronto Tokyo, and it looks like Nightfall is next on the list, although Time Walks gets most of his HP back as a result. Kiyotaka, in the midst of all this, doing a decent amount of damage, takes out another support. So Lion dead again. Toronto Tokyo is going to get harpooned back into the arms of Ame. That's a double kill for XXS, though, as Nightfall and Kiyotaka, last remaining members of Aurora, as it looks like this game, too, will likely just come to an end right now.
They just cannot deal with Ame.
GG's come out, so Xtreme 2-0, pretty convincingly.
10-0
Really
and
impressive.
10. I'm sure Fear has a little smile on his face. Obviously a big Sven Enjoy himself, one of his favorite heroes of all time. Of course, second only to Clinks that we have yet to see in 2025. Who knows? Maybe we'll get a Clinks this
Yeah,
tournament.
maybe we will. Let's go.
You are doomed. I hate lightning.